Today we'll identify for the graphs that are given, like what kind of graph these are. Definitely they are graphs of polynomial functions, but we need to identify them to see which one is what. So if you look at this graph A, this one, and the graph is extending. This is our quadrant 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Definitely it's a decreasing function because the graph is extending from quadrant 3 to quadrant 4, and it's a quadratic function, and because it has got one turning point, this little hump, and this is how quadratic function graphs looks like. Okay, a quadratic function graphs, the leading power is always x to the power 2. 1 second, it's always x to the power 2. So whenever you see a graph or an expression with leading power x to the power 2 or 2x to the power 2 or minus 3x to the power 2 or something like that, that's a quadratic function. If we look at this one, this is a linear function. This is a linear function. It's an increasing function because it's extending from quadrant 3 to quadrant 1. Now if you look at this one, there are two x-intercepts and there is one y-intercept. Okay, in this case we have got one x-intercept and one y-intercept. It's a straight line, it's a linear. The expression for linear will always be, the power on a linear will be just to the power 1. So if you see anything as y equals 2x plus 3 or y equals minus 3x, it's a linear. It's a graph for a linear function. It's a linear function. We look at C, it's definitely a cubic one because it has got two turning points. This is one turning point, this is another turning point. It's an increasing function because the graph originates in quadrant 3 and it moves towards quadrant 1. And there is one x-intercept right here, and the y-intercept is this one. The graph D is also a cubic function. It's a decreasing function because the graph is extending from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4 and it has got two turning points. And the graphs for quadratic function, the leading power will always be the graphs for cubic function, the graphs for cubic function, the leading power will always be 3. Okay, so for these two graphs, the leading power will always be x to the power 3, and for quadratic it will always be x to the power 2. For linear it will be x to the power 1. We don't write 1 because we already know it is 1. Okay, so that is it. Thank you. Have a good day.